Quinnipiac men's soccer took a tough road loss last week, but could they bounce back with a win?
Both Quinnipiac ice hockey teams are about to start the season. Where do they pair up against the rest of the ECAC hockey?
And once-in-a-lifetime play coming up here on Cube 30 on Sports Paws. Next 30 minutes. Let's go. And welcome into Studio 125. I'm Connor Oldthorne. Here's Matt Mugger on the desk beside me. And Matt, 9:30, know what time it is. Let's get going.
It's time to get rolling. That's right. A lot to get into tonight. And in fall sports teams in action, but first we head to the ice. Quinnipiac's women's ice hockey team opened their season against the University of Maine this weekend. But before we get to the action, let's look at the ECAC hockey preseason poll. Quinnipiac earned the number 6 rank on the ECAC coaches poll. Colgate earning 7 first-place votes, Clarkson in second with 2 first-place votes, and Cornell receiving 3. Harvard and Princeton tie for 4th just ahead of the Bobcats. 3 teams from the ECAC poll ranked in the national U.S. hockey poll, with Colgate, Cornell, and Princeton ranked in the top 10. Quinnipiac, Clarkson, and Harvard also received votes. One Bobcat was recognized with a preseason award that has eluded a Bobcat for quite some time. Sophomore defenseman Kendall Cooper was named to the ECAC hockey preseason All-League team. Cooper was previously named to the 2021 ECAC All-Rookie team in her rookie season. She recorded 9 points and a solid +6 on-ice rating in her first year as a Bobcat. Cooper is the first Quinnipiac women's ice hockey player to be named to the preseason team since forward Kelly Babstock was.
And now we got a highlight coming up for you. Quinnipiac versus Maine. Matt, let's roll this tape.
Roll the highlight film, baby. The Quinnipiac women's ice hockey team opened their 2020-2021-2022 campaign against the Maine Black Bears. Now to the first period. It didn't take long for the Bobcats to strike a beautiful setup. Line mates Sadie Pert and Alex Hoskin lead to Nina Steigoff for the goal. 1 minute into the season. We jump now to the second period. Bobcats still up 1-0. Celine Kennedy scores off a beautiful cross-crease pass on the power play and buries it on Quinnipiac. Still in the second period, and after an incredible initial stop from the main goaltender, Alex Hoskin is right there to tap in the rebound in front, cleaning up the dirty work. Final minute of the period, Lexia G taking it all the way and throwing it on net for Courtney Boyster to pick up the rebound in perfect position to roof it to give the Bobcats a 2-goal lead. Now into the third period. The Black Bears showed some fight with Maddie Giordano, skating in and sniping one past Logan Andrews. We got an exciting finish lined up. Quinnipiac takes the game 3-2 in a big matchup against Maine to open their season.
After the win, women's hockey looked to sweep their season opener again at home. Let's take a look. And here we go, Bobcats, Maine Black Bears, game number 2. Check out the face-off. Gio wins that one easy. And we'll throw things in the second period. Black Bears put some shots on to you. Grad transfer, Green Schneider. Check out the pad save there. Loses her stick, gets it back, but Vorster heads up the boards, finds an easy pass to Alexa Hoskin. Hoskin 1-on-2, walks around the outside, and finds it 5-hole. Big goal. Quinnipiac ties the game 1-1. And we'll stay in the second period. Maddie Semiskevich, some nifty footwork. Sadie Peart in the slot and a little snipe past the main goalie. And it's 2-1 heading into the third for Quinnipiac. Early in the third, Alexa Hoskin with the steal. And she finds Nina Steigoff with the snipe, sizzling that one past the Maine Black Bears goalie. 3-1 QU. Now 4-1 at this point. Quinnipiac, Schreider, the save there. That's important. Take a look at that. The big save, I'll tell you why in a second. Maine with a penalty coming up, playing around with the puck in the back end. But watch this pass here. It goes by everyone, and it will end up in the Maine Black Bears net, and that is the first ever Quinnipiac women's ice hockey goal for a goalie, first ever NCAA women's ice hockey goalie goal. Quinnipiac wins 5-1.
After the win, women's ice hockey beat reporter Ethan Logue has more on the rare goalie goal. Take it away.
Quinnipiac goaltender Corinne Schroeder made a number of firsts today. First career start as a Quinnipiac Bobcat. first career win as a Bobcat, and first NCAA collegiate goal. The goalie pulled on a delayed penalty call, down 4-1 in the third period. An errant Maine pass found its way 100 feet down the ice and into the Black Bears' net. After further review from the officials, it was determined that the goal was awarded to the Quinnipiac netminder.
I still can't believe it, to be honest. I was very surprised when I saw my name on the board. I had no idea it was even thought of that it could be me, but I guess it's nice save. They did it to themselves.
We were all just really excited, and we didn't even know who to give it to, but the ref asked me, and I said she made a save, so she was the last one to touch it. It's hers.
I have not seen anything like that. Pretty cool, you know? Like, come in, first game, score a goal, done.
Luckily for Schroeder and the Bobcats, they won't be needing her goal-scoring prowess anytime soon.
I don't know about expected, but I hope so.
Following the weekend sweep, the Bobcats are set to take on the LIU Sharks next week in Hamden. Reporting from the Frank Perotti Jr. Arena, I'm Ethan Logue, Q30 Sports.
And definitely a cool story with the goalie goal, but earlier today I caught up with women's ice hockey beat reporter Gage Kilborn to take a deeper dive into the weekend sweep by the Bobcats. And we're going to take a break from the studio here at the People's United Center behind Gage Kilborn and I. We're going to be talking some women's hockey. They had a 2-game sweep against Maine this past weekend. Gage, who's the biggest X factor on the ice for you this weekend?
The biggest X factor on the ice for me to start off, Connor, will very well have to be Alexa Hoskin. She had 5 points in the weekend series sweep against Maine, 2 goals and 3 assists. Alongside with her line did very well as well with Sadie Pert and Maddie Samoskevich, as they ended up having 5 goals tallied altogether when they were on the ice.
And Cass Turner has to select between 3 different goaltenders. Gage, who's your starter?
It's a tough decision for her because it's a good decision good thing to have, because she has 3 tough goaltenders to choose from: Logan Angers, Katie Buttiglietti, and then of course Corinne Strider that they picked up from Boston U. And I had to go with Strider because she so far has shown how dynamic she can be in between the posts. In her first game with Quinnipiac, she had in a 5-1 victory. She gave up 1 goal on 28 shots against her, and she also scored a goal herself on the offensive zone. So overall, she's been a dynamic influence on this team's offensive output so far.
Ethan Logue just touched on that goal, but one last question before we send it back down. What's the biggest improvement Quinnipiac needs to make on the ice?
The biggest improvement that was a big improvement that I was worried about going into the season was their power play unit. And that kind of got me a little bit scared, because with this much talent on the first-year roster, they should be able to score some more goals on the power play unit. But the power play team went 0-for-5 this week, and that kind of has me a little bit shaken. But they have LIU coming up this weekend, and they should probably have enough time to focus and rejuvenate to work out these kinks.
All right, thanks for your thoughts, Gage. We're going to send it back down to the desk. We're going to be talking some men's hockey on Sports Paws. That's right, we're talking men's hockey. The Bobcats head up to Maine for an exhibition game in October in a few weeks. But we're going to start where they're predicted to finish in the preseason poll. And the Bobcats are predicted to finish the ECAC hockey season in first by the coaches poll. Quinnipiac received 4 first-place votes. Clarkson and Harvard behind them received 3 each. And Cornell received 1. St. Lawrence, Colgate, and Dartmouth finish up the middle, with Union and RPI tied for 8th. Yale, Princeton, and Brown round out the bottom of the preseason. 2 senior Bobcats were also recognized with preseason awards. Forward Ethan DeYoung and defenseman Zach Metza were both named to the ECAC Hockey preseason All-League team. DeYoung was a point-per-game player last season with 29 points in 29 games. The forward scored 14 goals and finished in second in the nation with 8 power play goals. He also led the team in shots with 99. Metza was one of the best defensemen in the nation last season, leading the nation's defensemen with career highs in assists with 21, points of 26, and power play points. Both players entered the season as 2021-2022 assistant captains.
Switching it up from the ice to the court, volleyball went on the road to take on the Niagara Purple Eagles. The Bobcats lost to the Eagles, dropping 3-1. Junior Ariana Diaz recorded 11 kills, 19 assists, and recorded one of the team's 4 aces. Maggie Baker recorded double-digit kills, and Nicole Legg brought her kills total to 74 on the season. Quinnipiac took the first set, but could not rally around Maggie Baker, Nicole Legg, and Georgie Salepsi's performances.
And after the road loss, Quinnipiac hit the court again versus the Canisius Golden Griffs. Let's take the highlight. And here we are, Quinnipiac Golden Griffs. Let's start things out in the first set. Canisius with the serve. And the Griffs spike it back. Big block from Lexi Morse, and Ariana Diaz says no. Still in the first set, and the spike from the Bobcats. It's Olga Zampati with the big kill. Bobcats still lead the set, and Zampati with the little finesse, just a little tap on that one. Bobcats take the first set. And here in the second set, here's another spike attempt, but it's Lexi Morose once again. Says, get out of here. And Diaz with a pass to Nicole Legg, and Legg gets the kill on that one. Bobcats still in the lead. Still in the second. Pass to Chloe Kakwani. She sets up to Maggie Baker, and Baker with the smash. Canisius ends up with taking that set, but we're in the third set now. And here's from Chloe Kakwani. She gets a little tap there and gets in between all the grips. Spike attempt from Mejia. Alyssa Mejia gets the little tap from the middle. Bobcats take the third set, and in the fourth, we're going to get a little back and forth. Big digs from the Bobcats. Diving save by Maggie Baker. And here's another big spike coming up. Another diving save for the Bobcats, barely staying alive. Chloe Kakwani going to come up big right here. There's the big dig from her. And it's Baker once again, finishes off the Golden Griffs. Quinnipiac takes that 3-1.
After the weekend of MAC games, let's take a look at the conference standings. Quinnipiac sits at the 500 at the middle of the pack with a 2-2 record against MAC opponents. Fairfield leads the MAC conference with 4 wins, 9-6 overall, riding a hot 5-game win streak. Ryder is also out on Niagara's coattails with a recent 3-game win streak tying Niagara's conference record at 3-1. It's time for a break on Sports Paws, but we still have lots of action left to go over.
We'll take a look at men's and women's soccer, how they've done so far in non-conference play. And can the Quinnipiac field hockey team get its first win in the season? Find out next.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Joe, spotlight on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. It's here. It's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. What? My. Oh.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to Sports Paws, and we are sorry here for the technical difficulties, but it's time to go to the pitch with the Quinnipiac men's soccer team. The Bobcats host the Northeastern Huskies, and here we go. And we start the game. Check out the QU huddle there. Win on 3, 1-2-3 win. And we start it in the first half. Northeastern with the ball is Jacob Marin Thompson. Little tap back. Dan Munch gets his shot deflected and he gets the goal. Sellian with the team there. 1-0 Huskies. Bobcats with set piece still in the first. It's Alex Hawley. Ball deflected off the goalie and in. Hawley ties the game. 1-1 game. Still in the first half. Northeastern running down the field, taking on Wygand. And it's Benjamin Klingon off the gloves of Andres Haji Gabriel. And he gets his goal. 2-1 Northeastern. Now QU, Thomas Fakul, little back heel right there. Jordan Bennett whips across in, and it's David Bersato with the volley, tying the game 2-2. We'll head into overtime. Big game here in Hamden. And it'll be Northeastern running down the field. Benjamin Klingon once again from outside the 18. Hajibril can't touch it, and the Huskies win the game 3-2 in overtime. And after the loss, Coach Eric DaCosta had some words to say about his team. We have men's soccer beat reporter Ben Kane with more on the story.
I'm Ben Kane outside the Quinnipiac Soccer and Lacrosse Stadium after a thrilling 3-2 overtime loss for the Bobcats against the Northeastern Huskies. After a difficult week, which saw the Bobcats lose twice, Coach Eric DaCosta was impressed with his team's performance after this game.
Yeah, really, intense game, emotional game for both teams. I think from the first minute until the very end, just teams putting it all out there, which for us was a great response coming off of a Tuesday. To have that type of response and match the intensity, come back from a goal down and come back again. I think it showed a lot of character. So I think it's a game that we needed to go through, and it's probably going to help us in the long run.
The game was also highlighted by a stellar performance from senior midfielder Alex Hawley, who scored the first of Quinnipiac's 2 goals.
Hawley. He knows his role. He accepts his role. He knows his strengths as a player, and he offers a lot to the team in certain situations. So, we're not surprised by him at all. He's always popped up and scored an important goal, and that's because of his mentality, his will, and the way he plays and the effort in which he plays. An honest player who gives it to you, and he deserves those because he puts the work in for him.
The Bobcats will be back in action in Hamden on Wednesday against the Siena Saints as they look to open up their MAC conference play with the win. From Q30 Sports, I'm Ben Kane.
And now, live in studio, we bring in Q30's own men's soccer beat reporter, Roberto Casillas. So, Roberto, after a tough week, what are some positives to take moving forward for this team?
Thank you so much, Connor. And you mentioned it. It was obviously a very, very difficult week for the men's soccer team. They entered the week undefeated on the season, 5-0, and they leave the week 5-2 in the last 2 games of their non-conference slate. Obviously, a tough week. Obviously, tough loss, 5-0 against a ranked team like UNH, and then a tough loss at home just 4 days later. But you know what? I liked the personality that this team displayed, especially on Sunday. They went down twice in the first half, and after what had been a very, very tough game earlier in that week, they still bounced back and still responded. The attitude was there, the confidence was there, and players stepped up. We've seen it all year. Brock Austin was making plays, David Bersato was running all over the field, and as a team, when you're facing, David Costa mentioned it today to us, when you're hurt, when your backs are against the wall, that's when teams have to come together and have to come again and fight for those results. Northeastern and UNH, 2 very, very good teams, and just to be able to fight back and to show that personality, I think is going to help them moving forward. And also the depth of the team, again, on display, that's something that we already knew was going to happen, that was going to be there. So I think they're going to be okay.
So far this season, who do you think is a player going under the radar that can have an impact during MAC play?
I don't know if under the radar is necessarily how I would describe it. It's more like who's going to be maybe something that was a player that we didn't expect that much of from earlier, but that's going to play and have an impact in MAC season. And to me, that's Alex Hawley. Alex Hawley has started already 2 games for the Quinnipiac men's soccer team this season, the last 2 home games. And Alex Hawley is a senior, but he's a guy that we haven't really seen that much of in the previous 2 seasons. He played a lot during his first year here, 208 minutes, and he already has as many minutes this year, and we still have all of conference play left to play. And you know, he's lost him perfectly in that midfield, right in front of Dejan Duric and Paulo Suarez, and right behind David Bercedo. He's the perfect connection between those two lines, and he has been doing it very, very well for them. He has the depth, he's helping out around the players surrounding him. He's just a great player to have there who has connections all over the field.
All right, Roberto, last question. What are some of your early expectations for the team coming up in MAC play?
You know, Connor, it's very simple. It is championship or bust for this team. And if you think that's too much, if you think that's throwing all my eggs in one basket, you can say that. But the team themselves have that confidence. Talking to Bragg Austin earlier today, he told us that their objective is to go 10-0, to go undefeated in the MAC and to win it all. Obviously, there might be some bumps along the road, and I'm not as confident as him, but I do think that they have the best team in the MAC. 6 of the 12 players in the MAC preseason All-MAC team were from the Quinnipiac Bobcats. Bragg Austin, preseason player of the year, and Quinnipiac was the favorite to win it all. It's a team with so much depth, same team coming back from last year, and they have so many variants that they could put in. Best defenders in the entire MAC, best goalkeeper probably arguably in the entire MAC. That midfield is, as Eric DaCosta says, full of pit bulls, and then up front they have electrifying players that can just win you the match in a single play. So I think that this team is destined for a championship run. No, we've been here before, we've said that before, and they just haven't been able to get over the hump. I think this is a year where they're confident and they're determined to finally end the heartbreak of the past and hoist that trophy, Connor.
Championship or bust for the men's soccer team, is what Rob says, but we'll stay on the pitch and take a look at the Quinnipiac women's soccer team. And the Bobcats took on Monmouth in their first MAC competition of the season. The Hawks came into the game after a 2-1 overtime victory against Iona, and Monmouth used that energy from the previous game and took a 2-0 lead before halftime. The Bobcats only netted 1 goal in their comeback from Selena Salas, her 5th of the season and her 4th penalty kick goal this year. Megan Phillips and sophomore Sophia Lopinoso each played a half in the Bobcats' net. And after the loss, let's take a look where Quinnipiac shapes up to the rest of the MAC. And as you can see, Niagara and Monmouth, they are tied in first with 2 wins each in the conference. Ferris and Merrifield both still looking to keep a 0 in the loss column. They haven't dropped the game yet. Siena and QU have only played 1 game, but they are separated by a few teams at 1-1. Ryder, Canisius, and St. Peters, you don't see them there, but they are 0-2 on the year. All right, we're going to go to field hockey as they had 2 games. All right, excuse me for that one bad moment. And Matt, we're going to toss the break here. But when we come back, we're going to have our top 5 plays and our weekend preview. We'll see you next on Sports Paws.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
And welcome back to Sports Paws, Matt. You know it's that time. It's time for top 5 plays.
That's right, Connor. First top 5 plays. All right, let's take a look at them.
Here we go. Play number 5, men's soccer versus Northeastern. We just heard Roberto rave about this guy. It's Alex Hawley from the corner kick. Gets the little bounce and slots it home in the bottom corner. Northeastern takes that win in overtime, 3-2.
Play number 4, we go to field hockey versus Wagner. Amelia Mazzarelli coming down the stretch. She maneuvers through the defense. She trips. She falls, but she still scores. What a goal. The Bobcats eventually lost that game.
Play number 3, graduate student Corinne Schreider. It's her debut. Here's a brilliant pad save with the stretch, and that one turned into a goal from Alexa Hoskin. And we'll get more later on from this game as you watch Hoskin skate down the ice. Here she goes around the outside and sneaks it 5-hole. And we'll get more from this game later.
Nothing scoring like 5-hole. All right, play number 2, volleyball versus Canisius. Tit for tat tosses going on between the Bobcats and the Griffs. Griffs go for a spike. Libero, Daniela Balsano saves it. More back and forth. Griffs goes for another kill. Chloe Kaanu gets that save. In the end, the Bobcats maintain the point.
Big kill there from Maggie Baker. They get the win over Canisius. And here is play number 1 back to women's ice hockey. And it is a historical goal in NCAA women's ice hockey. Yes, it was credited to Corinne Schneider, the goaltender. And the puck sneaks its way in there. You can see Bobcats win that game.
A goal's a goal.
That's right. And now let's take a little bit of time to see what's upcoming for the Bobcats this weekend.
Men's soccer plays at home versus Siena on Wednesday at 3. Women's soccer takes a trip down the falls to play Niagara on Wednesday at 12. Field hockey takes on Liberty Friday at home, 1 o'clock p.m. And women's ice hockey traverses to Long Island at 6 o'clock on Friday. Volleyball ventures to Poughkeepsie in search for a win in Red Fox territory at 7 o'clock on Wednesday.
Definitely some tough matchups coming up for the Bobcats as all teams enter their fall conference play. But that's all the time we have for tonight on Sports Paws. Thank you for tuning in. And if you want more content, be sure to check out our Twitter at Q30 Sports or look on our website at Q30TV.com or in the Q30 app on the App Store. From our producers and everyone behind the scenes, that's Matt Mugno. I'm Connor Othorn. Have a fantastic week, Bobcats.